I don't think I've ever said this before. This kind of makes me seem very psychotic, but whatever. I used to play the Halloween theme song over and over and over in my headphones. Pre-game. Seriously. And it was important that it was Michael Myers because the mask itself was void of emotion. Void of emotion. It has nothing to do with pressure, it has nothing to do with hype, has nothing to do with camaraderie. It's stone cold killer.
What's up, guys? Halloween test screening this Thursday. We're gonna open the horror pack. Got an Indiegogo to talk about. Patreon giveaway, a lot to discuss. Let's do this. What is up, guys? Welcome to another drum box. And these unbox videos, I take the opportunity to give you any kind of updates that are going on. It's kind of a catch-all. So that way I'm not giving you updates like during reviews, during ranking videos. Sometimes I do that stuff, but this is a good platform for me to just give you all these updates. So a lot to discuss in this one. We're gonna do the horror pack. I got some fan mail here. It's gonna be really fun. And we're gonna talk about Halloween. First thing is there is a test screening coming this Thursday. Test screenings are just something that's been a part of Hollywood forever. As far back as like Fatal Attraction, I remember they were doing test screenings for that. And test screenings are a good thing and they're kind of a bad thing. They're a double-edged sword because thinking back to like Halloween 6, test screenings are what created two cuts of the film. You know, 14-year-old boys came in and they looked at this movie, the producer's cut, and they didn't like the ending. I don't like the ending. So we ended up getting the theatrical cut. And the reason I say it's a double-edged sword is because there are people that prefer the theatrical cut and there are people that prefer the producer's cut. It's kind of a good thing though, because then you get two versions of the movie. And the producer's cut was my holy grail of physical releases for almost 20 years. And it never, ever was gonna see the light of day. So, in a nutshell, that's kind of the big thing about test screenings. They did test screenings for Halloween 2018. Ended up going back and reshooting the ending. Why they didn't put the deleted scenes on the Blu-ray, I have no idea. Hell, sometimes test screenings can give you a completely new version of a movie, like say, The Exorcist, I think it's called Dominion and Legion. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, because I didn't do my research on that, but I just know that there were two completely different versions of an Exorcist movie that came out around the same time, and Dominion was the one that wasn't released in theaters. It was the other one. Shows you how big of an Exorcist franchise fan I am. I love the first movie, but there was so much chatter about Exorcist 3 in my top 10 possessions video, possession movies, so I ended up buying Exorcist 3. I ordered it, and I'm gonna watch it, and I'm gonna review it for you guys. That's one thing I love about my channel. I get a lot of my ideas from you guys, and I really appreciate that. So, but yeah, anyway, back to Halloween Kills though. Yes, we are getting a test screening this Thursday. I'm not gonna freak out about it. One thing that does kind of scare me is this movie was shot way earlier than Halloween 2018. So it gives a lot of time for like knee-jerk editing, knee-jerk reactions. Sometimes I think it's good when, you know, you have your nose to the grindstone with a movie. When you have kind of a limited time span to actually shoot the movie, edit the movie, and then release date, you know? Because sometimes when you second guess yourself too much, it can cause problems. But also, no news on when the trailer's gonna drop. There's a lot of speculation. Trailer could drop. We could get some footage for the Super Bowl, maybe, maybe not. There's a few Blumhouse releases coming up throughout the year. The best bet would probably be Candyman, which is slated, I think, for June timeframe. And that would be like prime real estate for a Halloween Kills trailer, being that Halloween 2018's trailer dropped in June as well. But it could come earlier, who knows? And while we're still on Halloween, Halloween Kills is definitely coming back again. It was gonna come this weekend, but myself, Dave McCoy, Wolfman's Got Nards, Jimmy Champagne, we watched the movie. We're trying to get our schedules all lined up because I want us all to be there. So that is definitely coming. I don't have an exact date for you yet, but hopefully within the next month, you should see another Halloween Kills. Now, one more thing before the horror pack. There is a new Indiegogo campaign, Buzz Films. One of the producers, Martin Renner, he reached out to me, and I get a lot of requests to look at, you know, fan films and independent films. And this one was one that kind of sparked my interest because Donna Wilkes, you might remember her from Jaws 2, Angel, and also in Schizoid. I've reviewed 2 of those movies, Jaws 2 and Schizoid. But I think she was a really popular horror actress back in the 80s, so it kind of sparked my interest that she's actually involved in this. And the story itself, it's a horror comedy. It's called Buzz Cut, and it's about a killer beekeeper. And Martin sent me a few of the images, the production images, and it looks like it's really bloody. I like horror comedies that lean heavily on the blood and the gore and all that. These images kind of remind me of what you'd see in like Sleepaway Camp 2. So I definitely wanted to support this. There's an Indiegogo campaign for it. I believe it goes on throughout the month of February, and you can support that. So please go over and support them as much as you can. And there should be a trailer coming for that short film real soon as well. Also, the film was actually shot in New Zealand, which I think is really cool. I just got through watching Return of the King with my son actually the other day. Those movies are just amazing, but they were shot in New Zealand. Okay, so now we're gonna open up the horror pack, the fan mail, and then I'm gonna tell you about a special Patreon giveaway after the unboxings. Now I'm gonna start off with this. This is the Rue Morgue, and the reason I'm starting off with this is because I went and I checked my mail, and the Rue Morgue magazine is usually nice and neat and sealed in this envelope. It was like this when I pulled it out of my mailbox. If you are handling mail and you literally open people's mail and look through their magazines and whatnot, you're a piece of shit. That's all I'm gonna say. And it really just annoyed the shit out of me that somebody would do that. Just go through somebody's mail like this. So this was already open when I grabbed it out of my mailbox from my P.O. box. But good friend Andrea Subasati, who is the editor over at Rue Morgue magazine, they send me these every month, and I love showing these off. I love good horror magazines like Fangoria, but Rue Morgue is definitely top-notch. One of the better horror mags out there. And I like that every month they have like themes, like horror themes. Like one month they had like satanic stuff. They even had a month for like gay horror, which was really cool. And then this one, it looks like it's touching on some like Lovecraft stuff. Color Out of Space. This is a movie that I've heard a lot about, actually. I believe Nicolas Cage is in this too. So that's one that's on my list to watch. But look, you can see that the mail, they even ripped my freaking the front of the magazine. Oh, that pisses me off. One thing that's cool about this too is like just opening this page right here, you'll see like a bunch of different reviews on horror films. This one has like Rabid, Nosferatu, what looks like a license plate, and I See You, The Gallows Act 2. So you can get a lot of good horror reviews right in the Rue Morgue Monthly. Then there's this great article here, The Footsteps of Lovecraft. Every issue they have like a full-length, quite a few full-length articles actually, just covering so many different horror topics. So I can't recommend getting a monthly subscription to Rue Morgue enough. You will not regret it, I promise. And when you do, tell them Lee from Drumdums sent you. Great stuff. Now we're gonna do the horror pack. Horror pack, if you look on your screen right here, it is a monthly horror DVD or Blu-ray subscription service. You subscribe, and then every month, horror movies in a box like this show right up at your doorstep. And they always have like limited editions in there. Sometimes you'll get like steel books. A lot of times it's kind of themed too, which is cool. And I will say, so far, a very small percentage of these movies are ones that I already own. So that's a nice thing too. You know, I like that they dig deep and you get some deep cuts in here. And then sometimes you get some upper crust type stuff too. But digging into the first one, so exciting. This is one that I've never seen. This is called The Machine. The Machine. It is, The Machine is perhaps the closest to Blade Runner that any film has come since 1981. That's a bold statement right there. That has my interest. So, The Machine. First movie out of the bag. Next one is one called Johnny Gruesome. This is your monthly horror pack limited edition Blu-ray. You will only get this in horror pack, which is really cool. And there's been quite a few limited editions that I've loved. Like I discovered or kind of rediscovered pieces through my horror pack subscription because they had a horror pack limited edition in there. I loved the movie so much that I went out and bought the full-length edition, you know, with all the special features and everything in the gravy. But Johnny Gruesome, it looks pretty gruesome. Next one is Oh, this is a classic right here. I have this one, but Don't Breathe. I mean, that's upper crust right there. Fede Alvarez, probably one of the best movies of that year. I love this movie. It feels like Panic Room a little bit. I just love movies where you have like robbers stuck in the wrong place, and then they got to deal with what's coming at them. And what's coming at them is a complete badass who happens to be blind, played by Mr. Stephen Lang, who I think should have been Cable in Deadpool 2. And the next one is called Mutants. Looks like, I would say this is probably a good creature feature. Never heard of this movie. It stars Michael Ironside. It's 28 Days Later meets the apocalyptic I Am Legend. So it's a cross between 28 Days Later and I Am Legend. So good stuff this month for the horror pack. Okay, now I'm gonna do some fan mail, and I know what one of these is. Dave Vanderhoff, me and him have been exchanging DMs and Instagram, and he said he was gonna send me something. If you remember, I did a recent top 10, or actually no, this was my top 50, and there was a certain movie that was not on my top 50 that I hadn't seen, and I just got freaking obliterated with comments saying, I can't believe you haven't seen this movie, it's a must-see, kind of like what I got with the Possessed top 10 for Exorcist 3. So, Dave, I can't thank you enough for sending this to me, so I'm gonna open this up now. All right, so first one, oh yeah, this is the other one, of course. This is another one that I constantly hear, I can't believe you haven't seen this movie. Leslie Vernon, Behind the Mask. I'm really excited. I've been dying to watch this movie too, so this is awesome. And I know what the other one is too, and I can't wait to show you guys. It is freaking Maniac. And I even said, I pinned a comment on that top 50 slashers video that I will review this movie for you guys, just as a thank you. That video has passed 20,000 views already in a couple weeks, and it's crazy to me. So I really appreciate all the support you guys give me, but I can't wait to watch this too. I've seen the remake. I think the remake is one of the better remakes out there. It's fantastic, actually. So thank you, Dave, for that. I really appreciate it. Next one I got is from Cody Fisher, and then I'm going to tell you about the Patreon giveaway. I'm trying to be careful with this because there is, looks like a card in here, and I don't want to bend it up too much. I'm going to pull it out right now. So, oh my God, this is actually metal, like a tin material. That is badass. John Carpenter's Halloween, look at that. And it's, you can hear that. Yeah, it's like a tin material. That is too cool. Thank you so much for that, Cody. I like that though, like the Myers mask, it looks like a structure, a building. And then you got young Michael Myers going in there. So he's like becoming Michael Myers. You know, there's the mask. Really cool though, love that. And he sent me a couple movies here. Of course, Halloween 2. Thank you so much for sending me this because I actually used to own this version. And then when the complete collection came out, I ended up selling all my individual copies of these movies. But now I have Halloween 2 back, which is awesome. Because the Universal release is a little bit different than the Shout Factory release. I think it looks better. It's a little grainier, the grain's intact. But yeah, thank you for that. And then I've heard of this movie here, Siren. A few years ago I heard about this movie actually. It's pretty crazy. It's kind of like a body horror type movie. From the minds that brought you VHS, yes. And I think she was like one of the smaller stories in VHS, and then they gave her own movie. So it's all coming back to me now. Okay, before we get to the Patreon news, thank you all who send me these great items. I really appreciate it. Really awesome stuff. For my Patreon page, I am fastly approaching 100 patrons. I actually did hit 100. You know, you lose a couple, then you gain a few, but 100 patrons is no joke. It's freaking massive, and I can't thank you guys enough. So, I've really tried to step up my patron game over these last couple months. I'm doing monthly commentaries now with you guys tomorrow night, or it might be tonight. I don't know when I'm going to get this out. It'll probably be tonight, but I'm doing a live commentary for Back to the Future, actually, because we've been doing horror movies, but then I said, hey, why don't we try something non-horror? And they gave me some suggestions, and Back to the Future is the one that kind of came up above the pack. So I love Back to the Future too, it's awesome. So anyway, what I want to do for my patrons is I want to do a giveaway for you guys. So if you're not a patron, check out my patron page. $1 really gets you in the door. And I'm going to show you what I'm going to give you guys. What I'm going to do is I'm going to post something over at Patreon. And there'll be some, like, I guess the rules, the ground rules or whatever to enter to win. And then I'm just going to do a drawing. But it'll be over on my Patreon page. But I'm going to show you guys right now what you're going to get if you are a patron. So first thing you're going to get is a brand new copy of Salem's Lot, the Stephen King movie, vampire movie, considered one of the better vampire movies out there. This movie, Blame, the DVD, which is a very solid film actually. Also, it's brand new, by the way. Not giving you anything used. But yeah, I can't recommend this movie enough actually. It's not really a horror movie. It's kind of a thriller, high school thriller, but it's got some dark stuff in it. So I dug this movie actually. Dug it so much that I wanted to send it to one of my patrons. A copy of my wife's book, the hard copy, Roller Skate Skinny, right there. I've gotten so much great feedback on this book. The character Delilah is really just a really messed up. I love good psychotic characters. I guess that's the way to put it. So I really think you'll like this book. And then lastly, this t-shirt right here, the F Off Wade t-shirt. I'm gonna send you a brand new one of those right from my Spreadshirt store. So this is a big giveaway. This is a way to say thank you guys for supporting me. I appreciate that. I want to give back. So I'll get your address and I'll send it right to your door. But you can buy one of these too over at the Drumdums Spreadshirt. I'll put a card right here so you can go there and buy one if you want. But yeah, it's Wade from Halloween 4. We all love it. And it says Killer Flicks right below it. Anyway, guys, that is the end of this drum box. And leave you with this last thing. Rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. It was shocking news that him and his daughter actually died recently. As a father myself, it hit home. I'm sure it hit home for you guys too. Kobe had a lot of big fans out there. I used to play a lot of basketball growing up. It was my #1 favorite sport. And I just found out too that the music that Kobe would listen to pump him up was the Halloween theme. And he even stated that, like, Michael Myers was, and he didn't want to make it sound deranged or anything, but he would want to get in that mindset of Michael Myers, like just a stone cold killer. Killer meaning he wanted to just completely obliterate the competition when he went out to play. So I thought that was really cool. But anyway, be sure to come up with Killer Flicks, where we talk horror all day and every day, and on Fridays we do Free for Fridays. Follow me at Drumdums on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and Drumdum out.